Welcome to Dream Life Manifestation, 7 Secrets to Creating Your Best Life Possible by Heather Mathews. Video created by Truth in the Journey. Let me start by telling you a story about Simon. Simon was a senior accountant at a respectable manufacturing company for over 2.5 decades until a major change happened in his life. For a long time, he was perfectly fine where he was. His job paid relatively well, while his wife was a high school biology teacher. They had 3 kids, and their oldest one had just started college. They weren't fabulously rich by any stretch, but they got by and were grateful for what they had. And even though they had their ups and downs as a family, Simon's life was, by all accounts, okay. You could even say he was happy with the life he'd built for himself. However, Simon had this nagging feeling inside of him that he couldn't quite put his finger on. It had always been there, even before he started his job and got married. It was a faint whisper that Simon ignored because he was busy raising his family and climbing the corporate ladder. But Simon got older, he found it harder and harder to brush it off. Now that Simon was almost in his 50s, he finally acknowledged that voice inside of him. As a kid, Simon loved being in the kitchen because of his grandmother who had a passion for cooking. Simon had always looked up to his Grandma, as he liked to call her, which was why he inherited her love for making homemade treats. Simon had a bit of a sweet tooth, so he loved making all sorts of desserts, which of course, his Grandma taught him how to do. Simon was great at making pies, cookies, brownies, cupcakes and just about everything else you could stick in an oven. He made treats for his family all the time and even helped out at bake sales at school. After high school, Simon wanted to become a pastry chef. He already had a culinary school picked out in the restaurant where Simon was going to work part-time. But life had other plans for him. His career path took a detour because Simon's father pressured him to pursue a more stable line of work. Then, one day, he discovered a new way of thinking. It led him to believe that perhaps it wasn't too late for his ideal reality. After Simon discovered the principles of the law of attraction, it pushed him to take the plunge. He used specific techniques that blasted through a lot of barriers in his mind that held him back. Simon gradually built the mental power to power through decades of negative beliefs and revive his old dream. It only took him less than a year to put everything together. Simon handed in his resignation letter, collected his savings, and got a loan. Then he put himself through culinary school in spite of the fears in the back of his mind. Simon also worked as a part-time apprentice at a restaurant to learn the ropes and get his feet wet. At the same time, Simon got busy baking and started selling his goods to his friends and neighbors. Thanks to social media, word quickly got around and soon he got his old buddies to help him keep up with the increasing demand for his sweet treats. Most people think that the law of attraction is a magic bullet that fixes everything at the drop of a hat. But actually it's a way of life that puts you on the path to greatness. To make that happen, you'll need to build a set of habits, only then will you be ready to walk on this path. Here are 7 secrets to turn your thoughts into forces that will change your life in a big way. Secret number 1, supercharge your belief system. You've heard of affirmations and you've probably tried them before. But chances are you could do it better, especially if you've been experiencing limited results. Your beliefs about yourself and the world are the foundation of everything you're doing now and what you want to accomplish in the future. Living your dream life starts with having a rock-solid, unshakable faith in the fact that you have what it takes. On top of that, you need to trust that the universe will always provide you what you need, whether it's friends, family, collaborators or resources. Remember, scarcity should never be part of your vocabulary. So the first priority is to change your core beliefs by rewiring your everyday thought patterns. To do that, you need to create brief but powerful affirmations that will define the reality you choose to live in. Creating an effective statement to the universe isn't as hard as you might think, but there is a certain process involved. Once you get used to the motions, you'll effortlessly come up with affirmations that can create real change in your life. Here's an overview of the steps. Step 1. Do some inner reflection about what you want in life. For example, you might dream about putting up an after-school center for kids in grade school. At the same time, you also want to set up a parenting blog to help moms and dads take better care of their children. Then ask yourself, what do these things have in common? What similar values do your goals represent? Step 2. The next step is to dissect your desires and take a closer look. Putting up that center in your blog could be tied to your passion for caring about children. How have your past experiences influenced your passion? More importantly, what fears and doubts are getting in the way of manifesting your desires into reality? Step 3. Once you've extracted the values and deep-seated desires from your dreams, you need to create a common thread that ties them all together. This will help you create an all-encompassing affirmation that speaks that unifying truth about yourself and your beliefs. Based on the examples above, you could make an affirmation along the lines of, "The universe generously provides me the tools, resources and people who help me help others." Step 4. To get the most power out of your affirmation, it needs to be stated as a fact and not as wishful thinking. You need to say it as if it's happening right now, in this moment. Remember, the belief comes first, then the reality. Secret number 2, find inner peace and clarity. A cluttered mind is one of the most common problems people have with manifesting their dreams. This makes it hard to reflect on what you want in life or instill those affirmations we just talked about. Also, getting sidetracked by the thousands of thoughts in your head every day can destroy your focus on the present moment. A good way to keep that static noise to a minimum is by learning the ancient art of meditation. Yes, ancient people have been practicing the habit of sitting still and focusing on the present for thousands of years. And it's only in the recent decades that the Western world has caught up to the benefits that meditation has to offer. A study back in 2012 by the University of Manchester, Wake Forest School of Medicine and Max Planck Institute covered the effects meditation had on the brain. They found that those who meditated were literally rewiring their brain, and this helped them manage their pain better. And this is barely scratching the surface. Many other studies have documented how the habit of quietly observing the present moment as it unfolds can boost the immune system, promote emotional stability, relieve symptoms of depression and even overcome substance abuse. People have even learned to grow their gray matter and strengthen the connection between the neurons in their brain. If you want to sharpen your mind and use it to achieve your dreams, this is one habit worth investing in. Secret number 3. Face your fears and embrace your passion. The great thing about breaking out of your old belief systems is that it frees you to explore the unknown. Like Simon, a lot of people have reasons not to create their dream lives, with fear being the biggest one. All those what-ifs and if-onlys can make you conjure up a bunch of terrifying scenarios where you fail miserably. But what I've learned from my own experiences is that those fears will go away on their own when you take that first step. Try to think of this as a process of discovering who you really are. This is basically the whole reason you're making this breakthrough in your life right now. Simon found out the hard way that he didn't want to be the bored accountant trudging through his job anymore. Through his own journey, he found out he was meant to be Simon the baker who found joy in making other people happy. I recommend you try listening to your own voice like Simon did to pinpoint where your true passion lies. Doing this will help you turn up that voice inside and drown out those fears. First, think about who inspires you. Simon had his grandma, and he learned a lot of valuable lessons from her. Try to study the process that your own heroes went through so you can take the same path as them. Next, what do you do that adds value to the world? Can you do it for long stretches of time, even if you aren't being paid while doing it? And above all, does it give you that special kind of rush? Try to answer these questions to figure out your real path. Then you can move on to thinking about the steps needed to make it happen. It's incredibly motivating, gives you a sense of direction, and empowers you to manifest your true destiny. Don't worry if you don't have all the details right now. As you go through the process, the missing pieces will reveal themselves and you'll fill in those gaps later on. Imagine yourself already living this dream life and get really specific about it. What does your dream life look like? Who are the people with you, and how are they celebrating your victories? The clearer your picture is, the better you can motivate yourself to fulfilling that vision. Like I said, the belief has to come first, the rest will take care of itself. Secret number 4, believe in the sum of your efforts. What demotivates most people is the thinking that the work they put in doesn't add up. But that's the opposite of what the law of attraction demands from us. Like attracts like, and choosing to be immobile will only create more of the same. So if you push yourself to put a little work in every day, those results will pile up. Think about it this way, whatever state you're in right now, you got there by doing a little of it each day. Or by doing nothing about it. Either way, your current situation is clear proof of that. Imagine if you offered up your positive energy to the universe in the same way people put their money in their savings account. Most people don't understand that the universe pays you back that energy with interest. It matches every dollar you put in and multiplies it exponentially. If you keep the momentum going, just imagine the kind of critical mass you'll build up in the coming weeks, months and years. That small change in direction you make today, and the other ones after that, will radically change the course of your life. Secret number 5, be the change you want to see. You've heard this before, but hold on, there's another way of looking at this well-known saying. You see, attracting the life you want begins with change, but most folks don't think they have the power to do this. They feel helpless and trapped by their circumstances, and they choose to stagnate rather than grow. What I've discovered over the years is that you can reclaim your power by learning how to wield that incredible energy you already have. It's just a matter of getting into the habit of using it in a positive way. And more importantly, it has to be done in a way that changes other people's lives. This is extremely empowering for a couple of reasons. As I pointed out, that energy you put out in the universe acts like a sort of currency, and what comes around, goes around. When you try to change the lives of other people in some way, that same energy will come back to you big time. It's sort of like training your manifestation muscles and strengthening them. As you learn to change one area of your life, it becomes easier to do the same for the other parts as well. I've found that doing this raises your frequency high enough for the universe to hear and transforms you into an abundance magnet. Secret number 6, thank your lucky stars. Here's another great thing about going about your day with positive energy. It creates a natural buffer that insulates you. You can do this by being grateful for what you have. This one habit alone will keep you going, even when times get tough. I know how tempting it is to feel resentful when everyone else seems to be doing great except you. But if you can find it in yourself to focus on the good things you've got going for you, you'll attract more of the same stuff down the road. Let's face it, you can't hope to attract something that your mind refuses to appreciate or even acknowledge in the first place. When you cultivate an energy that feeds on gratitude, you're helping the universe give you more of what you choose to focus on. Secret number 7, turn on your green light. A lot of people have a huge stop sign lit up in their heads, and it's keeping them from doing what they want. It's like their soul is permanently stuck at a stoplight that refuses to change from red to green. And they don't realize what's going on because they've been conditioned by people and experiences from their past. It might be an ex-partner who told them they're not attractive enough, a classmate who made fun of them all the time, or a parent who dismissed their dreams because it wasn't the best fit for them. People unconsciously feed into this negative energy which keeps that stoplight forever red. This is the baggage you need to get rid of. Dig deep and come to terms with the events and encounters that might be messing with your own spiritual stoplight. They only have as much power over you as you allow them to have. And once you've cut off this source of negative energy, you'll give yourself the green light and head full speed towards your dream life. Listen, I know what it's like to struggle against yourself. I was full of destructive beliefs and had a huge chip on my shoulder. It was supremely frustrating knowing that I was the biggest roadblock to my own success. Worse, I felt like a fraud from living as a happy, fulfilled version of myself, when in fact, I was actually falling apart on the inside. It didn't matter how many people admired me and envied my successful life. Running my own business lost its meaning, and I felt like a magnet that attracted a superficial, hollow life. But things turned around when I got into the law of attraction and started applying the things I learned about it. After I undertook the habits we just covered today, everything seemed to work out on their own. I finally rediscovered my life's purpose, and on top of that, I attracted a better life effortlessly without feeling like a phony. Thanks for listening. My name is Heather Mathews and I have written several books on how to get more out of the law of attraction. In fact, I enhanced my own abilities to manifest my dreams by researching and implementing another secret habit that really speeds up the whole process of manifestation. If you would like to find out more, please visit secretmanifestation.com.